start this. We're good there, and I'll just roll the intro. Whew. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it has, man. It's been the longest week of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How's your week been, though?
Good, just chilling. I guess I'll just welcome to the Ex Nihilo Podcast, or I'll just wait after. You know, I gotta figure out when I'm gonna do this. Sometimes I just want the song because I like the song and then I like saying it. But anyways, welcome to the Ex Nihilo Podcast. I had something else for it, but that's what it is. We have a special guest today.
Freestyling.
And I like using this one for when I'm introducing people or when you introduce yourself. I like it. I think it's cool.
No, I'm with it, man. Name's Roman Lane. 2-time Emmy Award winning, 1-time Addy, 1-time Promax Gold winning filmmaker. Now
Promax.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Now turned songwriter, man. And I'm here.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
That is a lot of stuff in one sentence.
I know. I thought I was going to mess something up and forget something. I forget everything. Like my girl Shayna, she always has to remind me of everything. She's like my walking reference encyclopedia. Because once I experience something, I'm on to the next, man. Like I live in the future, bro. So I'm super forgetful. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how we met. We met through Shayna.
Facts.
And
Shayna.
I think we've met like what did we do the first time? The first time was I was shooting with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time was when you came here, which I appreciate you for coming. But yeah, man, just I guess I don't know what part you want to start from, but like Emmy. And then what was the other one? Addy?
Addy and
What
a
is
Promax
that?
Gold. So Addy is the highest award you can earn in advertising, which is crazy, right? When I was in a previous relationship, my ex came up with a great idea one day. She was like, "Hey, I want to win an Addy Award." I never heard of it. I was like, "An Addy Award? What's that?"
Yeah.
It's like, "What? Like we're doing Addies? What?" But I was like, "What is that?" So I did my research, man. And when I came upon it, we were just right in the middle of the eligibility phase to apply for it and register. So we did. And at the time, she kept wanting to like come up with something original. And I was really busy. So I was like, well, why don't we just throw up my reel for our company that we had, Girl Boy Creative. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So I put up my reel up for the for entry and got nominated. And we ended up winning.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
What was Girl Boy? What was it that you just mentioned? Because I only caught the very beginning of it.
Oh, you're straight. Oh, no, I forgot what I said.
You said it was like a company, Girl Boy something.
Oh, our company we had was Girl Boy Creative.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we had like she specialized in marketing, and then also did some creative as well. But I mainly handled the creative piece.
Okay.
And what we did was we went to big and small, mid-sized businesses in Louisville, Kentucky, for everywhere from Humana to our arena sports center. We got a contract with like Live Nation. We had like a bunch of stuff going and rolling. So that's where a lot of that came from.
Wow, that is super crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you guys was it just both of you guys, or was it like more people, or?
No, it was just us, just 2 people. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah. She would either set up the deals and I would knock them down, or we would both tag team the creative together. She was really also tied into the art scene super heavy. So,
Yeah.
of course, me coming from the digital media film side of things, and involved in so many things on my own, it was really easy to like come up with our equity super fast. You know? So the reel was cool, but we went up against like the top creative and marketing agencies in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And snatched it from them. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Damn. Like, do you think certain people were looking at you after like you got that like award or something from that? Like, I get that field of people that I guess you snatched it from. Like,
yeah, on the agency side for sure, because like community wise, on the creative side, everybody knows who you are, and they're open to support and da. But agency is different, man. And it's like you can do a ton of things on your own accord, a ton of your own projects, build up your own resume and demo reel, all that good stuff. But until you do something like that, that's usually when like the big boys and girls who play in that area kind of look at you and they're like, oh, okay. So either one, they want to hire you on for projects, which is actually what happened. A lot of them wanted to co-contract with us and go on projects and have us do creative for them. Or 2, they don't talk to you at all.
Damn. Yeah,
So,
because they're salty. I would
yeah,
imagine
I
that.
get it. I mean, it was, and again, this is like Louisville, Kentucky, right? So the
Yeah.
super red state, super conservative, and to have a black couple at that time just come in that they've never seen, never heard of before,
Yeah.
ever before that, and just sweep them was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we had fun that night.
That's awesome, man. Like that's like I don't even know what like that. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it was all thanks to her. She wanted to do it. I honestly, I forgot about it. I was like moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then the Promex Gold Award, I just won that with my team from Wave 3 News as an NBC affiliate I used to work for back in Louisville as a brand manager. I did that for 3 years before I moved to LA. And my ex-manager had submitted some of our work for a Promex Gold Award. And I'm still learning about what that award is. I'll just be flexing it, bro.
Yeah.
But it could be something crazy evil. I have no clue. I need to do my research, man, before I commit. But yeah, that was a big deal. They had some kind of big convention in Vegas this year, and they
Yeah.
announced it. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Wow.
So I think he's just still entering my old work in for like
Yeah.
awards, and we're just
That
snatching him up.
is crazy. I'm gonna have to see this work later someday.
Yeah, man.
So is Louisville really popping like that? Like
It's been popping for now. I mean, back in like 2016, 2017. Actually, right before that, Bryson was really getting, for y'all who don't know, Bryson Tiller was really getting his start, his strong, within music there, and really had a great, crazy buzz going on. He worked with a lot of my friends, Saint, who was his engineer, and some other guys, and he has a great team now, man. But honestly, since that took off, then you had the flood doors open. Vori since then has been signed to Capitol, now through Rock Nation, through Meek Mill's Dream Chasers label.
Oh, damn.
Vori's from there. He's crazy. Been on everybody's record. He's an insane songwriter. Jack Harlow, as you know.
Yeah.
Now he's doing his thing. Shout out Jack. I've done projects with him as well, which is really, really cool. He's a solid dude. Love him. And then my best friend Kels is another up and coming singer from there. Also, 2K Baby, he's from there. Did a project with him in LA, actually a film project. There's just a lot, as far as momentum going on now in Louisville, and I think that's a great thing. So it's headed in the right direction.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. I wish San Diego was like.
Oh yeah, and shout out Mars. That's another up and coming writer.
Yeah.
There's just so many, bro. There's so many. One Take Timmy. There's like the city's actually crazy musically wise. But I think with everywhere, like that's not an A market. That's not your Chicago's, your LA's, and New York's.
Yeah.
It just takes time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Wow, man, that's crazy. Well, so I'm just trying to like, I don't know why that to me is just like so much accolades. Like, how many years does this like some of this stuff like take for you? Like,
So I picked up my first camera in 2012. Before that, I was doing fighting competition sports. Like I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time.
oh shit.
A lot of that and a little boxing. But I trained and got my butt whooped for years. Bro, they was doing me dirty, bro. They was doing me dirty. No, I really love jiu-jitsu. That's like a martial art that I extremely, petition to anyone who wants to get involved or, for like just pure life discipline, awareness, wisdom, and just physical prowess and IQ, man. It's just a wonderful, wonderful art to get into. But I got my butt whooped quite a few times. I've done a lot of competitions up to that point. I wasn't really great at competing for some reason. Like I just wasn't. I was a great guy in the gym, man. But when it came to competing, I just, it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's hard. So one day I was like, I need something more peaceful. And I noticed my friends at that time, a lot of them were photographers in the film and photography space in Louisville. So I got a T3i from Craigslist and a few prime lenses and got to work, like literally shot every day since. But that was back in 2012. Started doing it professionally around 2016. And between 2016, 2018, 19 was really crazy for me. That's when there was just like hella momentum, hella engagement, hella support, hella awareness, hella opportunities. Like I was flying probably like to LA like twice a month, coming from Kentucky, just going back and forth and still working full time at that. So that was
What were
pretty
you doing
nuts.
full time?
Well, at the time, I worked for Humana insurance company as a consultant back then. And then I ended up retiring, left them behind for that time being. and I did my own thing for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then I worked for Wave Through News for 3 years after that.
Okay.
So after that, that's when I just moved to LA and I just did my own thing for the last year.
How long were you in LA for?
Only a year.
Only a year.
Only a year. Yeah. Shout out to my ex-manager, P. Cal, and my mentor. He invited me to live with him and stay with him in LA and work with him on music. And I managed his studio in Sherman Oaks. So I did that for a whole entire year.
All right. So like, what exactly were you doing for them? Like, were you engineering or?
No, not at that time. So when I moved to LA, I was still filming. And so I hooked up with P. Cal, of course, and did filming for his record label, Mafia Soul Records, based out of Los Angeles. And I was doing work for his artists and all the contracted people and artists that he was working with from label. And then he had a studio had just opened up in Sherman Oaks, and I managed that for that year. And I was just running sessions, doing split sheets, cleaning up, stopping fights, whatever it took. But that's when through P-Cal, I met Mickey Shiloh. And then Mickey Shiloh has her own community-based record label, the first in the world, actually. But it's also creative services and a distribution label as well called Hard Drive, HRDRV.com. And I started doing work with her, particularly. She flew me out to San Mateo, did a bunch of videos for her, and then all the people from her label started hitting me up, and that's when I started doing a lot of music video work in LA through...
What time was this? Like, just like 2020?
2020, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess since I do have some probably some videographers and photographers that are gonna be listening to this, like you mentioned a manager, how do you even find was he a specific manager just for video and photography, or was it just for arts or?
Oh no, he was just music solely. So the crazy thing about that at the time, my best friend Kels, he has been working with P-Cal super close for the past several years, doing some awesome music and work together. So Kels had vouched for me. I had been flown out to work with Kels a few times and occasions. I think the process of really getting to know P-Cal took probably about a good 5 or 6 years. Just kind of touch and go. Oh, what's up? Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
But we never had that kind of conversation. It wasn't until the quarantine happened and I was still in Kentucky that I said to myself, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start something new in quarantine. I'm just gonna pick up something. So I started making beats, started producing. And when I started producing, I thought everything I made was fire. The first pack out, I thought it was nuts. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get signed. So I was like, all right, well, he was the only person in the industry that I knew of and trusted. So I sent him that pack and I said, hey man, check it out. I said, if I suck, I'll never, ever make another beat again. I was that serious, dude. I was that serious. And he heard it. And he was like, bro, it would be an honor to manage you. And I was like, word? He's like, yeah. And that was it. So from there, it took about 3 months. And then that's when I left Wave 3 and came to LA.
Okay. It seems like you're really good at making connections, because even then, as you were talking before about some stuff that happened in Louisville, I guess because there's videographers and photographers that don't really they just stick to themselves. I'm kind of like that. What are a few tips you would tell people to network? Because it might just come natural to you, but to other people it might not.
Well, it's funny because networking and being on social places, especially now, gives me anxiety more than anything.
Oh, wow.
But when I think about what I did then, that was important to me. The first thing was get a mentor, get a great mentor, because mentors can speak for you in rooms and places that you can't go. And that is what allows you access into bigger opportunities, right? Otherwise, you never run into their peers. You never run into people that they're influenced by or none of that stuff. So at the time, there is a guy still in Louisville. His name is Antonio Pantoja. And to this day, he's absolutely hands down one of the best filmmakers that I've ever worked with and ever known personally in my life. The dude's amazing. Directed his first feature film. I bought his red camera right after that. He's been everything in terms of just giving me great IQ. And a lot of things that he taught me wasn't necessarily it wasn't anything to do with filmmaking in particular. We never talked about technique. We never talked about editing or none of that stuff. It was really, we always talked about how to carry yourself and how to talk to people and how to treat people. That's one thing about him he's always been really great at. And like, if you ever go like any of his pages or anything, dude, like Kentucky loves him. Like the Midwest loves him. Like it's ridiculous how much engagement he has. Like it's insane. It's all pure and it's all genuine. So I think I admire that. I just wanted that for myself. So in that way, you know, he's the kind of guy like you could pay him a compliment and he'll turn it right back around. Like, no, man, no, you got it, brother. That's all you. He's one of those guys.
Good, yeah.
And it's like, shut the fuck. I'm sorry, shut up.
That's cool, bro. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if you're gonna bleep that out or not.
Nah.
You know. But no, bro. It's like I was really inspired by that. So I wanted to have that same heart and same influence and impact on people. So that's where it really came from. It came from just, you know, seeing the people around me who were great leaders or great at what they do and, you know, reverse engineering that, getting to know them. And I remember like the way I got to know Antonio, he was shooting a commercial for this haunted house and radio station promo thing he had going on, and he wanted some extras to run through the haunted house. I'm like, bro, I'm black. I'm not running through no haunted house. You hear me? Bro, I rented that haunted house twice, bro. I almost threw up. It was insane. I got way overheated. It was too much.
Yeah.
At the end of it, though, we stuck around and talked, man, for like hours. And at the end of that conversation, he said, man, if you ever need anything, all you got to do is ask.
Yeah.
And I was like, phew. So I just kept that in mind. And yeah, I never asked for anything. I literally we just had these crazy conversations up to like 4 a.m. at his house every now and then, bro. And I was always recharged from those conversations. So that's the main thing. The biggest thing is get a mentor. Yeah. The second thing really, I think is really just understanding like what your niche is. I think people are more successful, easier successful when they pick a niche or a speciality. Yeah. So my thing is understanding like what you really like to shoot, like what really what best represents you, what you want to represent your legacy. Yeah. What comes naturally for you, you know, like what's your gift, and really just hone in on it as a brand. And I think people always knew me as, oh, dude, like it was insane not to be from Kentucky, but yet to have the impact that I had with all the artists I worked with, bro. It's like people were they thought I was larger than life. Yeah. And so I kind of lived that, you know? Yeah.
And are you talking strictly just music videos, or was this?
Yeah, I did everything. I did commercials, music videos, documentary, long form work, but mainly it was music videos that got me notoriety there. Like that's where it came from. Working with my homeboy Braxton, we did a music video for one of his first singles called Broadway. And for some unknown reason, we put that out. It was just like nobody has ever seen anything like that at that time. And I think I even shot that either, I want to say it was like a 5D Mark II or maybe like a Sony, like the first Sony Alpha. I don't remember what I shot that on. It could have been a Sony FS 100. I don't remember. But man, we shot that and people just went crazy. And that's when just, you know, all of the inquiries and all the opportunities came. I started working with club promoters at the time. That's also a great way to network. That got me in a lot of places. I ended up meeting one of their DJs who was a DJ for the Indiana Pacers. So I would go with him to his games and document his work. And that's all I did was just tell great stories. I found people genuinely I was interested in throughout the community. You know, it could be like within any, doesn't have to be within music. It could be within anything. And I would just approach them, you know, via email or, you know, go to the venues, go to the events, meet them in person. Yeah. And just talk to them and say, hey, man, like, what's going on? And it was one of those things where they were like, oh, crap, Roman's talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it literally became like bigger than me, dude. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. That's really cool. Is there like any specific people that you would go afterwards for like clients, or like were you like very picky about it, or was just like, I mean, at the very beginning, it seemed like it was everyone.
I think a lot of people like, you know, consider following and engagement and numbers and things like that. It wasn't anything about that. It was just based on people that I thought were cool. Like, just, you know, I remember my friend James Lindsay. He's a really well-known rapper from Louisville as well. Really great, a talented person. And I was so enamored with like how he carried himself and just like the impact of his music and how he could just fill up a crowd in a room so easy. You know, he had like all these different types of events too, bro. He would have like art gallery exhibitions and all this other stuff. And he's a rapper, you know, hip hop artist. But the dude was just insane. So it was just, again, you know, going to those same spaces, seeing him multiple times and walking up like, all right, man, look, let's just make this make sense. Like, what can I do? Like, you know, let's get it going. So maybe another tip is maybe don't look at everything from like a money opportunity at first. Yeah. But look at it as more about like equity. You know, like, okay, you have this type of stature, you know, and I want a piece of that. But you also gotta have equity to add. So, you know, my equity was all the hours and work and practice I did by myself and perfecting the images I like to make.
Yeah.
So once they saw the reel, they were like, "Oh yeah, whatever you want, let's go."
Yeah. That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
So how did you get into producing? And like, it seemed like it kind of happened pretty seamlessly, but like, were you musically like inclined or anything like beforehand?
Oh yeah.
Or
Oh
were
yeah.
you like
I
already
played
playing piano?
Oh yeah, I played keys. I played guitar, rhythm and bass. I've played flute. I played violin, first and second chair. A little bit of drums. I think I played like drums in church like one time. I had the same beat the whole service, bro. It was crazy. But no, I was musically inclined. My father was musically inclined as well, so that's where I got that from.
Okay.
My brother and I actually had our own home studios. My dad built for us. I think he stole like the first Reason in the box.
Wow.
And we just downloaded it from like the black web or whatever, the dark web, and we got busy, man. Had like Cubase and Cool Edit Pro to record our vocals into, like just crazy stuff.
Damn.
But I stopped back in 05, 04 because I thought whatever I was doing was hella lame. I didn't know nobody who did music around me at the time, so I thought like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But I just I guess all of it was just a dormant. So by the time the quarantine came and I had that grand idea to start producing for real, it made sense, and I've just been at it every day since, man.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Have you ever considered like of doing like YouTube or anything or nah? No.
I mean, there's a ton of great resources already out there.
Yeah.
If I do any kind of like YouTube resource, I think it would be like probably I could do either master classes on filming if I want, but probably would be more of a resource that's like current for like songwriting, because with songwriting, there's nobody who's going to just tell you how to do it. Like there's really no way how to do it. You have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I've come across a lot of IQ and things on my own time that I've kind of figured out that I think would make it a lot easier for people to get in the game.
Cool. Yeah. I was gonna ask, so like you did mention hard drive, and I did see what was her name, like Shiloh?
Yep, Mickey Shiloh.
Yeah.
Shout out Mickey.
I saw that she posted how much some people made. How much did you make from like hard drive, or like what is it like? It's like licensing or like syncs. I'm just
So Hard Drive is a community-based record label that specializes in creative services to do admin for artists and musicians and producers and songwriters, and they do like distribution as well, so they can upload all of your songs to all the streaming services in the world. It's amazing, bro. They got like their own beat library. They have seminars. They do syncs and pitches for commercial syncs and movie syncs. It's literally incredible. I heard about it from actually just researching Mickey, because Peacock had me to do a pack or create a beat pack for Mickey. And I was like, who's Mickey? He was like, don't worry about it. Just send it. He's a Haitian dude. And, I sent that. The pack didn't do nothing. That didn't go nowhere, by the way. That was crap. But I did my due diligence, bro. I just looked her up and I was like, okay, Forbes 30 under 30, has her own label. She's written for everybody under the sun, Janet Jackson. I think she's worked with Britney, I want to say, Omarion. Like, oh God, the list goes on.
So she would write for them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. She's cold, like cold writer, bro. And an excellent executive producer. Like, she's just cold. She's so cold. Literally a genius. But yeah, she came up with this. She literally created Hard Drive originally on a Wix site.
How many
now,
years ago?
That was like maybe like 3 years ago.
Okay.
She tells her whole story on Instagram all the time and Twitter all the time. You know, she was probably making like less than $30,000 a year, less than $20,000 a year, living in LA. Like, went through a lot of personal mental health issues, just a lot of things that kind of stood in her way. But she just made the site, believed in it, and now it's, I think, 3,600 members strong. She has multi-investors. She's getting it done. She just did a overhaul on the website on harddrive.com. I think she paid like $250,000 for that. Like, it was, or whatever, something crazy. Yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah.
But no, man, Hard Drive was great. So when I first got on Hard Drive, I listed on as a producer, but I also came on as a creative services for filming. So I did the music videos for all of her artists, and I think I priced them at around like $1,000 to $1,500 a video. So after I did my first few videos with Mickey and everybody saw that, everybody had to come get them some Roman, man. So
yeah,
it went
that's
up from
awesome.
there.
And are you still shooting for people or no?
No, I'm not. So unfortunately, went up to San Francisco.
I mean, I was gonna
Excuse me.
say you can put the page up and I'll just shoot it for you.
Oh man, well, I mean, or
No, I'm
just
just
get on
gonna
hard
say,
drive.
yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
no, just get on hard drive, and you can list on as a service provider for her.
Wow.
And that's as easy as that. In fact, a lot of filmmakers in this area, LA, SoCal, West Coast, if you're looking for great clients and a lot of them, head to hard drive, sign up.
Bro, I'm about to sign up.
I'm
Shit.
telling you, bro. And then, of course, if you cross into music and you do any kind of music, if you're a producer, songwriting, if you're an engineer, any of that, they have a place for everybody. And it's kind of like its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
But it's getting so big now that, I mean, it's about to go global.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Well, I heard at first they were only like inviting people.
Yeah.
Like it was
Well,
invitation only.
Yeah, it's open now. You can get on there and register and enroll now. But I also know for a fact, I think next year she is going to go to an invite-only system.
Okay.
Just because it's just, I think we have such a great community. You have so many great talents in it.
Yeah.
She doesn't want that to taint, she doesn't want that to go bad. So
Yeah.
she's really thinking hard about, the right fit, people who are the right fit for hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I didn't know they did services for like video and photography. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's the first to do that. There's no other music label in the world that will give you all of that. Give you beats for free. Like they have like a beat library for like 5,000 beats. You can go and just select one. The only thing is you have to put it out and distribute it through hard drive. You can't just upload it through your own distribution, right? But the reason that they do that is because they promise and make sure that the producers get their 50% publishing and masters.
Yeah.
And as a songwriter, you keep all your masters, like you keep your publishing. It's a no-brainer, bro.
Yeah,
and
bro.
she's paid like hella money for people getting into the sync game too. So I think that's kind
Yeah.
of cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like all that to have like in one spot.
Yeah,
Like,
shout
because I
out.
mean, you could only like hear about it like certain like pieces of it. Like I've heard certain things about it, but like now hearing it like explained this way, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's serious, bro. It's really serious. This all the way the real deal. And I mean, I got in pretty early, which Mickey and I have built a great relationship. She's a
Yeah.
great mentor to me, a great friend to me. But she's the first person that actually showed me I could write songs.
Yeah.
When she flew up to San Mateo, we had shot 2 music videos for her in a day. And I shot 2 of them. We were out at night having some drinks, got back to her apartment, we're watching movies. And she looks at me and says, "Hey," she goes, "Do you wanna make some music?" I was like, "Yeah, you asked me twice."
Yeah.
And, like, I'm looking around her wall. She has like hella plaques, bro.
Yeah.
Like hella plaques, platinum plaque, like crazy plaques. She doesn't need me to write a song for nothing, bro.
Yeah.
So I pulled up my laptop, sent her some beats, and I think those first 5 records that I gave her, she recorded them all like in 20 minutes. And those were my first 5 singles I ever put out.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just started writing my own music, and that really came this year as far as songwriting. Yeah. But it's been all go no breaks, man.
Yeah. Would you consider it more of like I don't know, like R&B or like rap or like what?
I definitely don't rap necessarily. I just try to be a great lyricist, like a great writer, period. Like to me, like, okay, like when I write, I don't really write to like beats. I have hella beats that I write to and I have written to, but I like to find like melodies and write to those because there's openness. There's no structure. I can take a melody anywhere. If I just have the bare bones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you think about that and you have a great melody, you got good lyrics, and a good production melody underneath that, whatever drums you decide to put underneath it, it could end up being a rap song, an alternative song, a rock song, a house song. It could
Definitely.
be anything by the kind of drums you put on it. So I like to save that for the very, very last and think about what kind of record do I want it to be? What does it feel like? What kind of mood am I in? But basically, man, a lot of stuff I make is like pop and R&B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to like a few of your songs. I can't remember exactly which ones,
Sure,
but as
sure.
you're like releasing them.
He hasn't listened to none of them. He's lying.
No, oh my god, I listened to a few, but the thing, so like my specific like genre that I like, I'm pretty like aggressive. So like whenever I write, I'm just like going in. Your stuff is like very like calm and silly, but for me right now where I'm at in my life, like I'm just always just like I gotta get this shit going.
He'd be angry. Man.
I got issues.
Yeah, I'd be hella
issues.
chill. Well, the thing is, like I talk a lot about my feelings, my vulnerabilities as, being a man.
Yeah.
My last or I should say last, my past relationships and my last relationship. I talk about all that stuff, you know, but mainly a lot of my content either speaks to women. Like I talk to the ladies. So, you
Yeah.
know, I don't want to talk aggressive to them like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It depends. Maybe
Yeah.
you know, the context of the song. But I might do it in a very smooth way. You know,
Yeah.
my first single was Eternal Fire, and it's a fire ass single. It's really cool because it's a really like melancholic, sweet, laid back type of just chill song.
Yeah.
But in the most beautiful, respectful way possible, I'm telling this woman to go to hell. So I think that's like so crazy, right? That's what my friend told me, Braxton.
Yeah.
He said, man, it sounds like, yo, this is wild, but it's beautiful. And I mean, honestly, it's like, I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And I'm like, wow, I want to do more. And it's addicting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you, I don't know, like, I guess you just naturally gravitates to just like what do you like to listen to specifically?
Funny you said that because you never really make what you listen to. But I listen to everything. I listen, bro. Hold on, where's my phone?
That's right.
Because I literally just like download it every like Friday. I download new stuff off of Apple. Because I just like to listen to everything. So like right now, I'm listening to my homeboy Tristan. He's a really big pop writer out of LA. My homeboy Thank You Martino, who's another collaborator of mine. He's doing his thing on like R&B and rap. I got Justin Bieber in here. I got Pooh Bear, who's a big pop songwriter. Cash Page. I got Ye Ali. I got Lily Rain. I got Drake and 21. My homeboy Kells. Taylor Swift. I got her in here.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Sonder, Friday, Thundercat. Yebba. Bro, I got like everybody in here. Steve Lacy.
Yeah.
Vori, SZA, Giveon. We can keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to everything, but mainly it's like, you know, I like to listen to, I like a lot of female artists, believe it or not. Female R&B right now is crazy, real crazy. They're turned. SZA's album's about to drop. I'm super excited about that next month. Stuff like that. Tim's, you know, I'm really into that as well. She's really, really super cold. But I think I tend to be drawn towards songwriters. So the people I know for a fact who write really good songs, those are the ones I study.
For like an artist, does it like turn you off if someone doesn't write their own things?
No, not at all. No, especially in music, that's very common. A lot of the sessions I ran in LA for PCAL, you know, when we have sessions for any given artist, rarely, maybe for like my boy Kells and a few of the people I know they don't really like songwriters as far as like having a group of people write for or with them.
Yeah.
They could literally do the whole thing themselves. And it's so fire to see that. But there's a lot of most cases when you have a writing session or a session, you're going to have several writers in a room writing towards or for the artist, you know, or just sometimes the artist won't even be there. We'll just write all the songs and then pitch them as demos to the said artist.
Yeah.
And see what they pick, man. But no, that's not a bad thing at all. It's super, super common.
Yeah. I guess I come a little bit more from like rap scene to some extent. Like people just get crazy on you if you're like, you don't write your own bars.
Well,
and shit that.
Did you see the thing recently with Nas, his album and Quentin Miller?
I have not.
Do you know who Quentin Miller is?
He sounds familiar.
So he's the guy who got outed from Drake for ghostwriting.
Okay.
Remember, people were saying that he wrote for Drake back on like, I think it was like before Take Care. I can't remember the exact album, but it's funny because if you listen to Quentin Miller, a lot of his cadences and style and delivery sounds exactly like Drake during that whole time period for like maybe Drake's first few albums, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's true. And so anyway, Quentin got invited by Hit Boy to do a session for Nas for his last album that he just dropped, which I heard was good. I haven't heard it yet. But when he went to the session, apparently he cut like just some ideas, cut them, and then left. And what they did was they just used a sample of a song, of a demo that he did in the song and gave him writer's credit, which is normally what happens anyway. That's typical. But he got on the podcast and then he told the world, he was like, yeah, and I've written for Nas. And everybody just like lost their shit. Yeah, it became this whole thing. And it didn't need to be, but people didn't understand the context because they wanted to understand like exactly how did you write for Nas? Because Nas don't need help writing, you know?
Yeah.
That's what's understood.
I mean, everyone has writer's block if you're honest, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of records, man. Think about them records. That's a lot of records, bro.
Yeah, like you need to get some ideas from someone, you know? It's not, it doesn't just like, oh, I thought of this, you know? Like even ideas, like there's certain ideas that just have already existed for like a while, you know? You just kind of spin it to your own way, you know?
Well,
so,
there's so many fire writers out here, bro. There's so many good talents like Derek Milano, my homeboy Raziel, my homeboy Water, my homeboy Kells. Vori. Vori was one of my closest friends, and dude like did records with Beyonce and Hove, and then just come off during the whole project for Donda with Kanye. He was
Yeah.
all over that album.
Damn.
Meek Mill is like in love with Vori, bro, because the way he writes is insane.
Yeah.
He's changed Meek Mill's style.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. So it's just like it's really smart if you ask me, you know. But I think that the travesty is you have people who just aren't willing to give the songwriters credit, and that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big issue with that right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll go ahead and take just a quick break since we hit 30-minute mark. But I guess we'll be back in a bit.
Yeah. That's nuts. He put me in timeout. I was over here listening to like the air conditioner. I was like, all right,
Echo.
can you play something? I was like, does that work? I
I'm
was
so
like, I wasn't going to say nothing. Y'all, he had me over here. I could not hear myself in my headphones. So now I'm about to talk a lot more because I can hear myself.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, man, we were just talking a little bit about just before
Everything.
Everything. Like
The cheat codes.
The cheat
to life.
codes. Yeah, man. I think one thing that stood out that we were just talking about was just what were you saying about like Rick Rubin and just not always working yourself down to the bone and
Yeah, Rick Rubin, who's a famous music producer, man, he has a very interesting style of how he cultivates talent. And he's worked with everybody.
Yeah.
So at any rate, you know, I've taken a keen note to that because a lot of the people in music that I know of don't work like that. You know, they're all like, oh, you know, you sleep till you die and you know, we grind and
that
all.
sounds like me.
That don't sound good. I'm sorry, man, but like I want to enjoy things.
Yeah.
I want to go to the beach and eat good and drink. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really adopt a lot of his methodologies and his thinking and approaches on life and in the arts. One day I want to go work with him at Shangri-La Studios in Malibu. I would love that, you know. But everything is earned. Everything takes time. So,
Yeah.
But until now, you know, like that's just someone I definitely look forward to for balance.
Do you think age plays
Yes.
into that?
Yes.
Because I'm 27, so like I'm just like, you know, I'm just going for it like a dog, bro. Like it's crazy.
And I feel like I don't feel old. Let's get that clear. Like
You don't look old.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you, man. I just turned 36. Scorpio,
Congrats.
shout out Scorpios.
Let's go.
You feel me? But nah, bro, like I don't feel 36. I don't wake up like, oh my God, I feel 36. Bro, I feel, act and talk like I'm 20, but my wisdom is insane. And I feel like when I'm around a lot younger people, sometimes, and I'm not often, believe it or not anymore. I don't know. Ever since I came to LA, I feel like I'm around grown-ups now. But but nah, bro. You know, I see a lot of mistakes, and my whole thing about telling people who are trying to be great at something they're doing is to tell them, I always tell them, try to make as few mistakes as possible. Like make absolutely as few mistakes as possible, and you're going to be guaranteed success. Like you're going to grow, you're going to get better. That is inevitable, right? Everybody always talks about like the 10,000 hour rule, right?
Yeah.
I hate that.
You hate it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
I feel like honestly, the people I know who are extraordinary at everything they do, bro, it took like at least 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years is that's the new goal for me.
Okay.
It's not 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours is like, okay, you do your first 10,000, there's another 10,000, and then another 10,000. Because there's so many, if you break down, let's say cinematography, right?
Yeah.
All right, you got composition, you got lighting, you got camera and equipment, you got editing, you got post effects, you have color grading, you have color correction. Bro, there's like, you have camera movement. Bro, there's so many things you could break down.
Yeah.
Each of those can easily take 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
The way I looked at it was, well, how long have I been doing films? Since 2012? How long is that? About 10 years. Mickey Shiloh, you know, and again, one of my mentors we were talking about earlier, who's mastered songwriting. How long has she been doing it? 10 years. How long my best friend Kelsey's been writing? He's like, genius. 10 years. I keep seeing that theme, bro. And so that's something I've been kind of like barking out a lot.
Yeah. I mean, kind of random note, but I think the other thing that I'm learning just as like video and photography is styling, man. Like styling is so important. Like, I don't know, like I just never thought about it till like I started working where I work now, but like you're definitely like spot on on just the different things. Like I guess I would call it like subgenres of like of a certain thing that you're like learning. And I mean, I guess as you progress, you just start learning more and more about each like different one.
Well, you know what, styling is is interesting. I kind of like point that in direction, kind of similar to composition in a way, because of the way you could compose a scene together,
Yeah.
the way you style a talent or an artist or anything, right?
Yeah.
But like someone said something really cool to me once. They said, okay, if you take the little water bottle right here in front of me, right, and you just put it on this table in this room, it's just a water bottle. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But if you literally put this same water bottle like in a all white room with the right lighting, it's art based on now.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Damn.
whole different. It's a piece. It's you know, it transforms it. So like sometimes styling isn't always even about the talent or the subject. It's about the environment.
Yeah.
Right. Just simply changing that changes everything. Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. But like, you know, those kind of things you don't really think about until you spend a lot of time in it. And you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because you start asking questions like, why do I like what I like?
Yeah.
And that's why I listen to all those music artists every Friday on Apple Music. I download everything. You know, I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, I don't create anything. I don't listen to nobody because I want my, you know, my own frequency. I definitely have my own frequency, but I, you know, like nobody has an original idea. Nothing's original.
Yeah.
There's only 12 notes in the scale. How many times are you going to flip that for a new melody?
Yeah.
You can't, right?
I remember when someone would tell me that, I'd get so mad. I'd be like, what do you mean nothing's unoriginal? I'd get so mad.
You know, but see,
But it's true.
But that's the thing about being young, right? Because as a younger person, you're like, man, you know what? I'm gonna change the world.
Yeah.
And then it always starts off that way, man.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, look, I'm just trying to make it till I die, bro. Like I'm just trying to like still use and enjoy life the way I can. Like, and that's when you learn, like, you know, through trying to obtain longevity in everything that you're doing. Balance is key.
Yeah.
You know, frequency is key. When I say frequency, I don't mean frequency just like as the frequency. I don't mean like that, bro. I mean like knowing your purpose. I'm talking about like working and confining your purpose, like refining your purpose. Anything outside my frequency, I turn down. I don't even think twice about it. I used to be like, oh, if I'm not in this opportunity, I'm missing out. I'm missing out. Oh, I gotta be part of this. I gotta be here. I gotta be here.
Yeah.
No, bro. No, bro. I used to work like that, and it had me in a lot of places doing a lot of shit projects I didn't need to be a part of.
Yeah.
So it was really about no. Let me refine what I'm doing, regardless of what's hot, regardless of what's crazy. Like when I edit, I don't even like when Cole Bennett came out. His whole editing style was crazy. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I personally like I hate it. Like
Really?
I mean, he does it great, but when people want me to do it, I'm like,
oh, it's the
no,
worst.
like,
It's the
bro,
worst.
No,
Oh.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm just clean cut. I just want to make sure it looks clean. That's it.
That's how I am. That's how I am. You got me. But that's okay. So that's a great example, right? That style is so relevant, or has been for the past 5-6 years. But when you really think about like timeless filmmaking, great cinema, they don't use any of those things, right? It's just great shots and it's great storytelling and great narrative and da 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 da. So like I centered my style based on what I liked, and that did never kept someone from coming to me. It was more like, oh wait, no, we just want Roman Lane's style. Like we want, you know, how you think, and that's what it comes down to. People don't care about what kind of camera you have. People don't care about what kind of headphones or what mic you're using. None of that shit matters. The only thing people care about is your ideas. Once you realize that, you'll treat your art and yourself a whole lot different because you got to maintain your capacity mentally to keep creating ideas. The moment you are able to come up with a good creative idea, that's the moment you're done. Like that's when you got to cash out, you know? So I had a fear of that. So my thing was, I'm just going to master coming up with really good ideas really fast. And that's how I became great at filmmaking, because it was like, or music videos, because I would come up with treatments. Like, bro, I would be on a plane from LA to Vegas, which ain't that long. It's like 45 minutes, whatever. And I remember like Mickey would send me a whole album like before I would get on the plane. And Mickey was like, yeah, I'm gonna need treatments for all of these. And, you know, like she and I worked so much together now, she gives me grace, right? So she don't, you know, she's like, you know, whatever you get to him is whenever you get to him.
Yeah.
I still treat her and everyone else in my life that I work with like the first time I ever worked with them. So I'm like, no, you send me something, I'm getting it done today, tonight, next hour. What we doing while I'm eating Popeyes? What? So I'm on a plane, no Popeyes, but I'm listening to the records. It was like maybe 8 or 10 of them. It was like an EP. And I went and wrote treatments for every single one of those in my notes in my phone. I was done by the time I landed. Yeah. Boom. Landed, sent them all to her.
How long, like, were these treatments? Like, you were just, like, using your computer or,
no,
like...
I was just on my phone, my notes.
On your phone?
Yeah, a lot of people, like, do, like, a lot of the really
Yep.
intensive
The
treatments.
crazy. Yep.
And that's great if you're working in an agency or with an agency and that's the standard, that's fine. I've seen some really amazing treatments, but it's not necessary. I used to do those for my clients in Louisville a lot. And then I hate doing that. I was
Yeah.
like, why? Again, frequency. I don't like doing, at that time, I didn't like writing. Now I do, funny enough. But now I'm just like, no, I don't want to do all that. So I literally cut it down to just write everything in my notes.
Yeah.
And I write it in a way, sometimes I might include like reference images or whatever to sell the idea.
Yeah.
But no, just write it out.
Did
So
you learn
1, 2,
like
3.
all that stuff from like mentors in Louisville and stuff, or like writing treatments and stuff?
No, because they all sucked. No, seriously, they did. Nobody wrote treatments like that there.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Louisville that were my peers were the type to like, oh, okay, we're just gonna go out and we'll find something and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be fire. I've done that. I've made a whole music video at a Shell gas station in Atlanta for an artist named Shad, and it was fire. It was it was probably one of my favorite music videos I've ever done. I ain't gonna hold you. But you know, those take very specific circumstances to come together to make those happen, and they got to be right. If any of those things go wrong, it's a huge embarrassment. So most of the cases, you know, I'm writing treatments. However, there are people, you know, I picked up some things from off the internet, like just good templates that I've come across. Like Tropic Color has a really cool one.
Yeah.
I've seen some others too that are
Tropic
really dope.
Color, huh?
Tropic
Yeah.
Color, man. You think I knew?
Cool.
See, I'll be out in the streets. What you talking about?
Oh.
Come on, man. Yeah, they got some good stuff. There's a lot of good elements. Cohen, what's his name? Cohen. Yeah, I can't
Sounds
remember.
familiar.
Yeah, he's another one. He's really cold too. But anyway, yeah. So that's where I get a lot of my ideas for that kind of stuff from. But that was it. That and just Google, whatever.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Damn. Aside from that, is there like any plugs you want to plug in?
I see what you did there. Plugs you want to plug in. Other than, wait, you mean like just opportunities or resources?
Like music or that you're coming out with?
Oh, okay. So easy. Yeah. If you're a musician, artist, songwriter, producer, engineer, whatever, if you are not on hard drive, you are playing yourself. You're playing yourself so hard. HRDRV.com. It's amazing. You won't regret it. Excellent community, excellent talent. That's how I got my first placements. And I'm continuing to work with them every day. I love them. They're great. And it just takes you out of doing it yourself. It takes that out of it. And that's what everybody needs. It's a great, great support. And then of course, you know, as far as my music, I just drop songs to exhibit my songwriting, right? To like showcase my songwriting. Yeah. But I do have another record. I just dropped one called Street Fighter Freestyle. That's pretty fire. It's really, really fire. I'm dropping my next record, Serrata's Interlude. It's called Tomorrow, aka Serrata's Interlude. That's coming out on December 9th. Me and my boy Dennis Moon produced that. He's an excellent guitarist. I work with that at LA.
I think I saw a few clips.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty fun.
On Instagram, maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, we rock a lot, bro. But I've been really excited. I have a lot of great momentum lately, just making songs that I personally am really in love with.
Yeah.
So I'm putting together a project right now for early 2023. Haven't named it yet, but I do have the cover art. And I'm already I got like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 songs in it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When is that going to come out by?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
No worries. I'm just.
I'm kind of,
questions.
honestly, I'm kind of watching what are some of the bigger artists doing at the top of the year. Because like this time of year, nobody drops anything. Everything's kind of dead.
Yeah.
Which is, I mentioned earlier, SZA dropping next month. So that's kind of crazy. But routinely, people usually wait to the top of the year. But there's still like some kind of consistency there. So I'm kind of seeing what the people are doing.
Yeah.
Trying to stay from like things like Valentine's Day, things like that. But definitely something, because it's a more like laid back kind of project. So it won't be anything close to summer. It'll be like while it's still kind of cold out.
Yeah. I think the last thing that I might want to just like ask a little bit is just a random topic. Like, because do you follow Kato?
Kato.
He's a producer.
Kato on the track.
On the track. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't follow him, but I know of him.
Okay. For sure. Well, like, I don't know. What do you think, like, music wise and I guess like video wise of like TikTok and stuff, just people trying to come up like on TikTok and stuff? Like,
I think it's great. It's entertaining to me. I'm not one of those people who are like, I am from the old school academe of entertainment and I don't believe in TikTok. How dare ye? Nah, like it's great, man. I think that it gives a lot more people tools to get off the ideas that are in their head. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Just the same way now that everything's kind of going to AI, right?
Yeah.
It's a wholly different world.
That's scary for AI,
Don't
man.
be
I feel sorry
scared.
for photographers.
Don't be scared. I
They
feel sorry for
gonna lose that
everybody.
shit.
I mean, I feel sorry for humans. What? I'm just like you're not even gonna need me at all. Like that's crazy.
Have you seen? There was a label that actually picked up someone that. Well, who was it? I can't remember.
Oh, was it FN Mecca?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
correct.
crazy. That was
Bruh,
crazy. That
That
was crazy.
was crazy.
Well, the biggest problem I had with that was they used an artist. It was like some black dude, as his voice.
Yes.
Right, to rap for the avatar or whatever. But they didn't even like really pay him like that. Like I don't think the compensation.
Oh no, they.
No, it was like wasn't near commensurable to like what the label side got. I'm sure. But I mean, they got so much backlash for that. They'll figure it out. It'll come out again in another way, different form. But I think the trend that you're going to see, the dangerous trend, is that labels are just like banks. They're in the money-making business. They're not really in the music-making business. They're in the money-making business. The music's up to you. The money's up to them. And they put out a lot of money to make sure that your art is seen so they can recoup. Right.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of trickery things in there in those contracts that also get people caught up. But they're always trying to figure out how to do more with less. You know, how do we pay less? Look at streaming services now, Spotify and Apple and so forth and so forth. Think about how many cents on per stream a person gets. Or I'm sorry, it's tenths of a cent, hundredths of a cent. When it's not even like a cent. It's crazy. So I think that the more they continue to try to figure that out, the more prevalent we'll see AI become. But just like with TikTok, just like with, Napster, just like with MySpace, people are going to figure out how to use technology to their advantage. They're going to, there'll be a few people that'll hack it, figure some things out, and then, we'll all be in that space at some point in time or another. But again, at the end of the day, for me, like I told you earlier, the focus for me is just being able to come up with like good ideas. Yeah. That's what I pride myself on, whether it's music, whether it's film, anything. As long as I can create a good idea, I can transition to any medium. Don't matter. Yeah. Damn. Bring on AI.
Yeah.
Bring it on. I'll do a crossover for AI.
That's funny.
I'm lit. Man. Let's go. Yeah, bro, man. I don't worry, man. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a good mindset to have.
For sure, man. For sure. Like I said, I got a lot of little nuggets up here every now and then. Yeah. When I remember them, Yeah.
For sure.
Shout out, Shayna.
I was gonna ask, is there any like last things that you want to say? And after that, I guess would be like, what's the last piece of advice you would tell to either like a videographer or a musician?
Honestly, I only got like two things, man, on my mind. Stay in your frequency. Find out what your frequency, your purpose is. Live in that. Breathe it. My whole lifestyle, literally, it protects and supports my frequency. Everything, down to the things I eat, down to when I sleep, down to my schedule every day, down to who I speak to and how I love, how I ignore.
How I ignore. That's a new one. I need that.
Me? Like, the collectors I don't pick up the phone for. You feel me? Like whatever protects my frequency, bro. Like the clothes I wear. Like I'm real big into like Naruto right now. Like I'm a huge Naruto fan. So like even my pants, like whatever, man. Like whatever makes me feel like wearing sunglasses at night.
I forgot mine. I was like, damn, I should put mine on.
I know what it really is. There's another pair over there, ladies and gentlemen, but he's not going to wear those. I don't think he wants to wear those.
Those? Yeah. Those white ones?
Yeah.
I mean, not yet.
That's so funny.
I've worn them a few times, but not for the podcast.
Yeah, man, I put on the podcast one time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one time.
That's like a thing, like everybody has to wear shades in your podcast. See? It's a different frequency. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, I guess when you're drinking, you have a propensity to like talk more honestly. I feel like when I have shades on, I'm more me. I don't know why. And I feel like it's a thing. I don't know. I just feel luxurious.
Yeah. Everyone has their thing.
I feel expensive.
Yeah,
man.
It's expensive.
These were, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Broke me at Disneyland, bro. I brought these out Disneyland.
For real?
Yeah, no lie.
What, last week?
Yeah. Allegedly, I was at Disneyland.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But no, man. Yeah, stay in your frequency, develop your frequency, protect your frequencies, and trust God.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. Trust God, because what you're able to do can never outdo God, no matter what. So you might as well just chill out. And I think a lot of times when we get into pickles, when we get in debt, when we trying to figure it out. Oh my God. See, this man. You're so funny, bro. He was like, amen, hallelujah. Dude, yo, I'm about to like sweat. I'm laughing so hard. Yo, this is crazy. But no, like whatever you're trying to figure out, bro, it's like we be trying to get in our own way so fast. We get into this mode of like, all right, I'm gonna hustle. You can hustle yourself out of a blessing, man. So
I've never heard of that, bro. I need that.
You mess around and be like, why have you forsaken me? Like, really? And you will be like just confused because you've done all the right things. You said all the right things. You were in all the right places and nothing worked.
Bro, I didn't know this was a pulpit. Damn.
You feel me? I need an organ so I can sample. Something I call Chance the Rapper real quick. Oh man, we call this Sunday service or something like that. Or Saturday. It's like it'll be
Sunday
Saturday
podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, it's just people get in the way, man. They get in their own way, and it's sad because a lot of those people, what happens. You've gone through things. I've gone through things. You see people going through things. You try to tell them. And they're like, okay, bro. Yeah, bro. But this ain't that, bro. But, and it's just like, you can tell what frequency they're on. Again, frequency. And then, when I hear those kind of things, I automatically know to take myself out. Yeah. So I'm not going to exasperate myself for. Did
you ever fight against like wanting to change those people for a while? Like,
no.
Because
fuck them kids. I'm just, no. Yo, somebody's gonna take a soundbite of this in 10 years. I'm gonna get fired from somewhere. No. Wow. Yo, he's crazy. No, but for real, fuck them kids. No, let them. No. So my dad was a preacher, pastor, theologian. Mm-hmm. He was a very, very smart man. Very smart man. Extremely, like beautifully intelligent. Yeah. And one thing he told me one day, he said, son, everybody ain't going to heaven. I said, you know what? You're right. And I mean, that sounds so remedial and like so okay, but he said it in a much cooler way. But I'm just kind of paraphrasing. That's really what he said. He was like, bro, everybody's not meant to go to heaven. And when I thought about that, I said, damn, you're absolutely right. Well, how do we know that? We don't. So, based on what behaviors and things people say and show around you, man, I mean, I'm not here to change people like that. No. Yeah. If you're inspired by me, that's great. But I'm not your God. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not none of that. I'm clearly a lover of God. That's it. And I'm a lover of myself. And I trust people to be people. I believe people to be people, and people are infallible. So as long as those things are true, and that's not a relative truth, that is a absolute truth. Again, theologian terms here. Take you out of school real quick. But no, as long as that's an absolute truth, why am I trying to change something that's absolute? Now, if we're talking about a relative truth, right? Like, the color of these lights is like 5,600K. Yeah. No, it's 5,400. Well, that's relative. Until somebody looks at the box over there and figures, out what's the absolute. But we can argue relative all day. I don't mind debating about relative things, but I will not waste my time on absolute truth. Nope. Yeah. Damn. Nope.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There's certain things that like I thought about before that like I try to tell like my wife sometimes because like sometimes we get in this mindset of just trying to change people, but for me, like I just know, like man, like that's just not how it's gonna work, And just the way you said it, like it's really, like it's a different way of like explaining things.
Here's a great way of looking at that. Try not to look at it as changing people. Try to understand them. That's what something Rick Rubin would say. That's a very Rick Rubin-esque mind of thought. Try to understand. Like if me and Shayna have a disagreement, or like my family members or whatever, I don't know, whoever I'm talking to, and we're not seeing things on the same level, I don't try to win points. I don't try to win anything. I don't try to overtalk or anything. In fact, I'm probably more silent when we're at a disagreement because I'm trying to listen. And I'm picking apart everything you said. One thing my dad told me, he said, a point of a debate is not to prove your point, it's to make them prove theirs. So when people come to me with any opposition or any opinion or line of thought that I don't agree with, I'm not sitting here trying to prove my side of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chill out, stay in my frequency, and I'm gonna let you prove up
Yeah.
because you're the one who has to convince me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna convince nobody. Yeah, man.
Damn.
Hey, theology's cool. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
man.
theology's cool. It's just a study of why. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Exactly, man. I feel like I'm back like in school.
I'm dead.
Bro, well, I mean, I can't have like a lot of conversations with people like just
Yeah.
like theology wise
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the reason why I did call it like ex nihilo. You know, it does come from like Latin, but like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny because like I'm trying to think of it right now of what you've been saying of like, you know, because like when God created us, He created us the way that He wanted, you know, and like kind of the main thing that like you talked a lot about was just kind of like frequency,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like just kind of staying like in your lane and what you were doing and what like God created you to be, you know, and then when you try to go away from that because of like either money or relationships and stuff like that, like you aren't who you were supposed to be, you know, and so it's really interesting just kind of seeing it from that perspective, and then also like just why I named it that way, just because I do want people who listen to it and who are in this like who come and rent the studio, like I want the podcast to kind of be like a part of it so that people can learn,
Yeah.
you know, because it's awesome if you have like a studio, but like for me, like I don't want people to come and rent out the studio and then also not take like a part of me. And so the way that I can do that is through like a podcast, because like I want to help out businesses, like I want to help out people, like you know, I just want other people to be successful. I feel bad like if I take people's money and I don't like double it, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's kind of like the whole purpose of this for me, to be honest.
No, I love it. And I think it's a great, 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 great platform. And of course, I wish you all support and all the success and all the love, brother. Anything I can do that's in my frequency.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah, definitely.
See what I did there.
Yeah, well, definitely, man. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you.
Man, right here. Namaste.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
All that. Oh, my arm hurts. Oh, Charlie horse. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate y'all. That's it for the second podcast.
Peace.
Peace.